Yo, grunting and swelling, just being huge, just being unapologetically swole on a Tuesday. Welcome, fam. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Papa Swoleo train. Welcome to episode 417 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast, Swolecast, a live cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex. Our
the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Got my coffee, large and in charge. Obviously, it's Papa Swoleo. Welcome to the Gain Train. Welcome to Pumptown. We're going right to Gainesville, stopping in Jacksonville, and then we are ending the line in Boston, Mass. Maybe we'll take a one-way ticket to Swole Lake City after we're done, but no guarantees. But bottom line, we're gonna get huge any way you slice it. Swole Nation, live, large, and in charge. If you haven't checked out that motivational video about motivation, I get it, motivational video, right here on my timeline, please check it out, like it, share it if you love it. I think it had a good message and it got me freaking amped. I was editing it and I got amped. I'm like, I'm gonna train today because I am fucking pumped up for my own damn video. But welcome, thank you for joining me for episode 417. Today is more about nutrition, because like I said, leading up to tomorrow night's workshop in Premium about nutrition and training programming, just want to talk a couple touch points on eating in the morning. So first, come on in, Denise Franco, welcome. Yeah, it's Papa Swoleo. Welcome to episode 417. Thank you for joining me live every day at 12 noon Eastern time. Thanks for watching these on YouTube, and also thanks for checking me out on SoundCloud and iTunes. So those of you that can't sit here and watch for 15-20 minutes on Facebook, I get it. Of course, you can watch it later on the timeline, but you can always catch the audio, the podcast, throw it on in your car, while you're at the gym, while you're doing the dishes, mowing the lawn. There's so many options with the Daily Swole, so thank you for checking it out. Episode 417, more nutrition and a little bit about breakfast. And I've been getting a lot of questions lately about Papa Swoleo. Do you eat breakfast? And the answer for me personally, let me tell you a little bit from my angle and my take and my perspective. And my answer right now, because of my schedule and because of how busy I am and what I'm doing now with Swolenormous and my own personal training, personal training, like training myself, yes and no. Now I bounce back and forth. I do a little bit. Sometimes I'm eating breakfast, sometimes I'm not eating breakfast. Depends on how late I'm up editing videos and doing work, how early I'm getting up in the morning, my daily show schedule, when I'm training for the day. So for me personally, I do a lot of instinctual training. And when it comes to what body parts I'm working on a certain day, I don't necessarily have a set schedule where I'm training this on a Monday, this on a Tuesday. I usually do a sequence with my physical training, but in terms of the time of day, I'm not set in stone. It depends on my schedule. If I'm busy for the afternoon through the evening, I might work out earlier in the day, which means I might eat earlier in the day, which means I might eat before my training or right after my training. So that's where I want to start with, because a lot of you are eating. Float some hearts and float some thumbs. Let's start right here. Float some hearts, float some thumbs if you train early in the morning. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, I work out at 10 or 11. Early in the morning, like 5, 6, 7, earlier, around that time. And even if you work out soon after you wake up, like you wake up, even if you wake up at 9 and you're training at 9:30 or you're training at 10 o'clock, because I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm not mistaken, if Papa Swoleo ain't mistaken, Paul, 5:30 a.m., nice. Eric Dean, 5:30, sweet. I mean, those are early birds, and I know you all have families. I know, Eric, you have kids and stuff. So usually when you have children, especially when you have a set work schedule, you work early, it's great to get it done early. But that can also pose a challenge, and I want to see some comments below. First off, Russell Free, 4:30, shaking my head. Jeanette, 4:30. Does that time even exist? That's badass. Megan, 6:30. So a lot of you are training first thing in the morning. So obviously this is a great topic for all of you. What I want you to do while I'm talking, while I'm kind of covering these ideas, I want you all, those of you that are working out early in the morning, right here on Facebook Live, I want you to comment below what you do for your training. Are you eating first? Are you eating right after? Are you doing a pre-workout before? Like, what are you doing? What's your nutritional habit for working out first in the morning? So when it comes to food, you don't have to. Let me put it this way. Let me say it just straight up. You don't have to eat first thing in the morning. So if you're working out at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know that you're already burning the candle at both ends. You're already not getting a ton of sleep. I mean, unless you're going to sleep at 7, 8 o'clock, which is unlikely if you have kids especially, you're not getting a lot of sleep. So for you to get up at 3 or 3:30 and eat some food and then go to the gym is pretty much of a ludicrous idea. And not a lot of people, I don't recommend eating at 4 or 4:30 then working out at 5, because you don't really get a lot of chance to digest unless it's something very, very easily digestible, and unless you're one of those people that can really eat and then go to the gym. And there's not a lot of people out there like that. It's challenging. So I see a lot of coffee first and workout. I see a lot of working out empty stomach. That's my recommendation, and that's honestly where I made most of my gains in college, because I would work at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, or 9, and I would go to the gym at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I would work out empty stomach, train fasted, and then eat immediately after on the way to work. I'm getting a bit like crazy out here. I don't know, you can't see, but it's kind of like dark and gloomy. Sky's all gray, weather's coming in, so all the mosquitoes are like, Papa Swole, taste delicious, let's bite them. Half a banana with pre-workout, oatmeal after workout. Okay, so I'm seeing if it's anything before, it's very, very light, or it's fasted, or it's a pre-workout, or BCAAs, your choice. You know me, not a big supplement guy, but your choice on whatever gets it done. Bottom line is whatever gets it done. So I see half a banana and water. So we're seeing simple sugars. The pattern from what people are writing below are simple sugars, things that are easily digestible. And I recommend that or an empty stomach. Now, those of you that might be thinking about training first thing in the morning and thinking about working out an empty stomach, it's gonna feel a little fucked up at first. And this is straight from personal experience. It's gonna feel challenging. You might feel lightheaded, you might feel dizzy, you might feel really, really hungry, you might feel low energy, but you get used to that. You get used to working out an empty stomach. Your body becomes more accustomed to metabolizing energy and gets used to generating and releasing glucose from glycogen into the bloodstream to satisfy your weight training. So you'll get used to that. That's something you have to adapt to. So if you're just starting out doing that, understand that it might feel pretty shitty, it might feel pretty fucked up at first, but it's something that you will adapt to. I see a couple of people saying that they do eat in the morning and then they do a little bit of cardio. And I would agree with that if you're gonna eat something. Some people, some of you, might be like, I can't do anything on an empty stomach. I'm gonna be sick, I'm gonna be nauseous, I'm gonna be destroyed. If you eat something, make sure that you do some kind of like low intensity cardiovascular just to settle your stomach, just to kind of get into the flow. I wouldn't go right into some hardcore, like high intensity training right after you eat. So if you eat at 4 or 4:30 and you kind of get to the gym, mosey on the treadmill, warm up slowly, be very, very careful easing into that sympathetic nervous system, easing into that fight or flight mechanism, because it'll affect your digestion, it'll affect the food that you just ate getting into your system that early in the morning. But I see a lot of the comments that you're working on an empty stomach, which is generally the idea, which is what I would personally recommend. That's my personal experience. I would do that. I would do some kind of a stimulant. I would do some kind of water, hydration. We'll talk about hydration in a second. Coffee first thing, and then you work out, and then food right after. But the food right after is very important. The food right after is very important, and this is usually even the case with people that do choose intermittent fasting, that don't eat until 12, 2, or 4 o'clock. They might work out later in the day, or they won't eat until that point, but eating after your workout, replenishing, is what's going to be the most important, not necessarily eating before, because even if you train at 3, 4, or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't have to work out on a full stomach. You can work out on more of an empty stomach, and generally that's recommended to go 2 or 3 hours after a full meal and have that empty stomach, but then to replenish right after, to replenish your nutrients. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking a little bit about more in detail tomorrow in the workshop, that about refueling after a workout and your post-workout nutrition. So for me personally, working out early in the morning, it's empty stomach. Hands down, empty stomach. I'm not eating anything first, but I'm refueling after. The next part of this nutrition that people usually separate food and hydration. Hydration is exceptionally important. We're talking over the fucking rainbow. Hydration is so important. But if you're getting up at 4 or 4:30, if you're getting up at 4 or 4:30, what are you doing? Like hydrating at 3 a.m.? You should be drinking all throughout the day before. So in order to be properly hydrated for your training, because you want to drink about 16 to 32 ounces of water 2 to 3 hours before your training. But if you're working out at 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you're not getting up at 2 or 3 to drink water. So it all comes down to your hydration before, the day before. So in order for this to be the case, you need to be drinking, let's say you're working out today. Today's Tuesday, you worked out early in the morning. Yesterday, Monday, you need to be drinking water throughout the entire day, up into the evening, up until when you're going to bed. Hydrate completely. Then when you wake up first thing in the morning, you can continue to hydrate, but you'll already be saturated from the night and from the day before. So hydration goes hand in hand with nutrition. I don't separate the two. Nutrition, hydration, all these things are methods of consumption of food, macronutrients, micronutrients, and liquid in order to keep the body, in order to give the body the fuel and the function that it needs for exercise. It is getting, you see the wind? Hold on. See the wind blowing the hair and the beard? All of a sudden it got dark. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up and keep it tight. How much is too much water? Well, let's get into some shelter. Follow Papa Swole. I'm on the side of the house. I decided to go for like a little bit of a different angle. Let's get this. I want to make sure the camera's not getting wet. Welcome to Florida. Does anyone here live in Florida? This is standard. This is like standard operating procedure for Florida. Like, it's nice. Okay, it's raining. So don't mind that. I just want to make sure the phone doesn't get wet. Here comes the weather. Yeah, it's all of a sudden, boom. Let's see. Last thing I want to do is rain delay on the Swole. Let's see here. I think it should be okay for another couple minutes. We're in Florida. I'm in South Florida. 15 minutes of rain. No shit. Oh, it's really coming down. Oh boy, hold on. Hold on. Emergency Swole. Live broadcasting is the shit. Okay. So let's just drop this down. There we go. That should be okay for now. I'll change the angle. See that? Yo, you guys see that? You see that cloud? Where is it? Right here? Look at that. Look at that cloud. That's over me right now. It's black. I love how it's like white. This is fucking rain. Okay. So the first rain delay. Well, you know, I could do this inside. I just felt like it was nice. So I was like, yeah, let me go get some fresh air. That was fucking nasty. So when it comes to too much water, I wouldn't worry about too much water. Fuck, man. I wouldn't worry about too much water. I mean, honestly, it's really challenging to drink too much water. If you're, you know, you might have heard some things through the grapevine about like water poisoning and such. You really don't have to worry about water poisoning. That's like for marathon runners and people that do endurance training. We are going to have to, all right, emergency evac. Hold on, hold on, hold on. We got to get out of here. I can't afford to fuck this phone up. You ready? You ready, Swole? Here we go. There we go. All right, so rain delay. Whoa. Hold on. All right, hold on. Hold on. What?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm live and it's just like,
Hi everybody, I got wet.
yeah, soaked.
Welcome to the Florida sunshine.
Okay, look at this. This is actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun. All right, so let's do this. I'm staying on. I'm staying on. It's pure commitment. Pure commitment. We're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock it. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is how we do. This is how we do with the Daily Swole. When you're rocking the live broadcast, you don't judge. You don't judge. You look good wet. All right. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I got some cool filters. Papa Swole gets mad. When the rain comes, he turns into Hulk-enormous. Papa Swoleo smash. Okay, so in closing, because I'm gonna wrap this up because now I'm like completely drenched. When it comes to hydration, you do not need to worry too much about drinking extra. In terms of how much you should drink in a day, maybe a gallon, maybe a little bit more depending if you're sweating a lot, if you're in a really hot environment. These are some of the things that people get too hung up on, how much water you're drinking in a day in terms of being too much. Don't worry about it being too much. It's going to be very, very hard for you to drink too much water. What's really a good judge of if you're hydrating enough is before your workout. So when it comes to getting your workout on, you have to make sure you're hydrated for your training, and that's usually going to be 16 to 32 ounces 2 or so hours before your workout. So if you are not drinking enough water, if you're super thirsty during your workout, that's a really good sign that you're dehydrated. One of the issues with you do get some water from foods, like unless you're drinking completely dried toast, you're not going to be getting zero hydration from food. But one of the things you can do is get a big, gallon of water, or get like a big container that you can gauge how much water you're drinking. But if you're really thirsty during your workouts, that's a sign that you're not hydrating properly. So nutrition's a huge part of it. Getting back to tying that hydration back into eating first thing in the morning, making sure that you are eating or not eating, that's going to depend on when you like to train. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that eating first thing in the morning is essential, that you have to eat first thing in the morning, that if you don't eat first thing in the morning, you're not going to be getting results, you're not going to be burning as much fat unless you're doing intermittent fasting. That's not all true. These are different methods of eating. These are different methods of consumption, and everyone has a different style. The most important thing is you understand that there are different ways that you can eat. You have different options based on your schedule. If you're working out at 4 in the morning, you are not going to fail. If you're working out at 4 o'clock in the morning, you are not in a risky situation where you're going to be damaging your body, or you're not going to be able to get the same results as someone who can work out at 3 p.m. and has, a lot of time off in the morning to make food. Working out on an empty stomach will not hamper your gains. It will not affect your gains. You can make sick fucking gains by working out first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Trust me, I know, because I've done it. I've physically done it. I know many people that train on an empty stomach. The most important thing is the refuel and fueling and being nutritionally satisfied and throughout the entire day. Because if you think about it, if you're eating throughout the entire day, if you're eating all through Monday, and then you wake up early Tuesday morning, you train, and you eat right after, you're satisfied. You have nutrients. Your body has glycogen stores. Your body has resources that is filled up from Monday. So right here, Wesley said, I heard at least half your body weight in ounces. Yeah, that's a great way to measure it. Harambe didn't know how to read a so hydration and food, think about the total. Think about the total day. Think about what you're getting in throughout the entire day, because that's going to be a major factor. What you're doing through the entire day of Monday is going to affect what you have in terms of hydration and what you have in terms of nutrition on Tuesday morning. But optional, eating first thing in the morning, especially those of you that are training crack of ass 4:30, 5:30. It's ludicrous to think that you have to wake up at 2 or 3 to get some food in. So don't worry about it. Eating first thing in the morning, not required. It's an option. Some of you might have the time. You might love eating first thing in the morning. Maybe you should try eating or not eating first thing in the morning, eating right after. You might like it. But it's an option for you, and just know that if you choose not to eat first thing in the morning, you are not going to be in any less of an advantageous position than someone that can't eat breakfast, because I've done it. I made most of my gains in college, that huge jump from when I put on a ton of weight after my first year in college, because I was working out first thing in the morning, fasted, and then eating right after. So it does work, it can work, and I am living proof that you can make sick gains working out on an empty stomach. Working out in the summer is pretty hard in Egypt. Yeah, I agree. And working outside or doing a daily show outside in Florida in the summer is pretty hard too. So I am absolutely soaked. Let me dry off. Let me go get my gain train on. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 417 of the Daily Sloppy Swole, because today was a very sloppy episode. Every day at 12 noon Eastern time, you can catch them on YouTube and listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. I can't wait to rewatch watch this episode and see what that rainstorm looked like. But thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram so you can catch my stories, catch me go live. And also, if you haven't checked out that motivational video, the spotlight video right here on my timeline, you can check it out, like it, share it. I appreciate the support. If you tag someone and if you like it, leave a comment, tell me you liked it, say what's up. And I'll see you on Snap, I'll see you on IG stories, and I'll see you around the bend. If you're interested in more nutrition, how it relates to your programming, all this topic, all this stuff in super more depth tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in the premium workshop. The link is in the description here if you're interested in hopping into that. Peace, McGeese, deuce, Magoose. Get absolutely yoked. Peace out, gorillas.